Mr. Speaker, I welcome this question because it allows this government to expose one of the clearest examples of the difference between announcement and achievement. Mr. Speaker, for years, the country heard about grand statements about dragon gas, cross-border gas, regional energy corporation, and the rescue of the energy sector. The former administration spoke as though gas was already secured. They spoke as though arrangements were already settled. They spoke as though Trinidad and Tobago was already in a position to benefit. However, the truth, Mr. Speaker, is that there was no completed fiscal framework to ensure that Trinidad and Tobago will earn its fair share from cross-border and across-border natural gas entering this country for use or processing. And that, Mr. Speaker, is the central issue. Trinidad and Tobago has a strategic advantage. We have decades of investments in pipelines, platforms, processing facilities, liquefied natural gas capacity, petrochemical plants, technical expertise, and an established gas-based industrial economy. But a strategic advantage is only useful when a government has the discipline and competence to turn it into revenue, jobs, foreign exchange, and national value. This government's fiscal policy is therefore clear. Where natural gas or other hydrocarbons enter Trinidad and Tobago for use, processing, liquefaction, industrial activity, or export, Trinidad and Tobago must be compensated. The country must not be treated as a convenient corridor. Our infrastructure must not be used without fair value. Our jurisdiction must not be taken for granted. Our people must not be left watching others monetize resources through a system that Trinidad and Tobago helped to build. Mr. Speaker, cross-border fields such as Laura and Manatee, Coquina, Manakin, are resources that straddle maritime boundaries. Cross-border fields such as Dragon in Venezuela are resources located outside of Trinidad and Tobago's exclusive economic zone, but may be developed by utilizing infrastructure in Trinidad and Tobago. The existing government-to-government arrangements with neighboring jurisdictions, including Venezuela, Barbados, and Grenada, do not themselves set out the specific fiscal terms for the importation of hydrocarbons into Trinidad and Tobago. That is a serious gap. It means that while the country had arrangements, discussions, and expectations, the revenue system and structure was still unfinished. Mr. Speaker, that is what this government inherited: a sector hungry for gas, industries under pressure, domestic production declining, and external gas opportunities being spoken about for years without a completed policy to determine how Trinidad and Tobago would be paid. Mr. Speaker, the former administration had years to settle this matter, yet when this government assumed office, the country still did not have a finalized fiscal framework for cross-border and across-border hydrocarbons entering Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Speaker, this government is correcting that failure. We're establishing a fiscal framework that will ensure Trinidad and Tobago captures value from external hydrocarbons entering this country. Possible revenue arrangements may include fixed fees for the importation of hydrocarbons, commodity charges based on the volume of gas consumed, unit transit fees based on distance, reserved volume or consumed volume, and any other mechanism required to protect the national interest while preserving project viability. Let me be clear, Mr. Speaker. This government understands that energy projects must be commercially workable. We are not seeking to suffocate investment. We are seeking to ensure that investment does not take place at the expense of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. In January 2025, an interministerial committee chaired by the then Minister of Energy and Energy Industries was established to develop a fiscal framework for cross-border and across-border resources between Trinidad and Tobago and other jurisdictions. Its mandate was to develop a possible fee structure, recommend who should pay those fees, propose draft language for any fiscal measures, and assess whether the proposed framework could affect energy sector development. Mr. Speaker, that committee was given 3 months. Its tenure ended before the exercise was completed. That fact speaks loudly. While the country was being told that cross-border gas was on the way, the fiscal architecture to protect the Treasury remained unfinished.
Time.